Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tim Farnham with Black Label Real Estate, and this is your Monday morning market update. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay informed on what's going on in the San Francisco housing market, then hit the subscribe button below and hit the notify me button so that you'll be the first to know when new videos come out. In these videos, I'm going to review what happened last week in the San Francisco housing market, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So let's get started. So talking about the total inventory summary, a few weeks ago, we kind of had this surge of listings kind of coming in the middle of September. And those listings that surge has kind of dwelled down a little bit, but buyers have stepped up. And as you see, it's actually been pretty steady for the last 3 or 4 weeks. You know, down here, when we look at new homes, we had that surge, and now it's kind of coming back down, showed by this little red line. The yellow line here, this is our contingents. So you can see that right now we're actually going up a little bit in terms of homes that are going contingent, and our available homes, as I said, they're actually really high right now. Closed listings are staying about the same at about 100 closed homes per week. So let's see what's happening in the absorption rate, because this is the real metric that kind of shows us if we're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. As you can see down here these are both our under $1 million segments. So these are the ones that were hardest hit by interest rates. And we're sitting at about 19% for condos under $1 million and about 21% for single family homes under $1 million. So these are the ones that we are actually sitting we're getting close to being kind of a neutral market. It's considered neutral between 15 and 20%. Above that, it's usually considered a seller's market. So for all of these other segments, the single family homes in the $2 to $3 million segment, we're still seeing that at 60%. Here in the over $3 million segment, we're still like 45%. So we're still seeing a lot of sales in the price ranges that are over $1 million. The lowest one here is let's see, which one is this? This is the single family homes under $1 million. So it's still kind of up there. All right, so let's look at the condo market here. For available homes, we're still sitting at 441, which is up 16 from last week. New homes, we're at 35, which is down by 5. So we're kind of seeing that surge of listings kind of dwindle a little bit. Back on market, we're at 5, which is about the same as last week. Price increases, we're at 2, about the same as last week. Price reductions, this is what's kind of going up lately. We're at 44 in the under $1 million segment, which is up by 14. That's actually quite a bit. If you look at the closed listings, we're still at 19, which is about the same as last week. Absorption rate, though, we are sitting at 19%. So this is where it's under that magic 20% threshold, and we're going to say that this is now a neutral market. Days on market, we're still at 41 days. So 41 days, again, we're kind of approaching that month and a half mark, which is, again, moving more and more to this like neutral market. And this is also the market that is the hardest hit by interest rates. And as you've seen, they're going up to around 7%, which seems like a lot, and which is what is kind of causing this slowdown in both single family homes and condos under $1 million. Let's look at the over $1 million condo market. We've got 561 homes on the market, which is down by 4 from last week. New homes were at 41, about the same as last week. Back on market, we're at 4, about the same. Price increases, 4, about the same. Price reductions, we're at 52. Now, this is an increase, and you will see this when we look at the total price reductions. There's definitely been a lot as sellers are kind of getting more reasonable about what the new market is like. Closed listings, we had 31, which is about the same as last week. And here we are again, absorption about 21%. So all in all, condos, new list price to list price also 101%. So what I'm seeing here overall is that the condo market is definitely stabilizing. We're having just as many homes hit the market as they are sold, and they are kind of in this neutral spot where they're kind of hovering around 20% absorption. So it's not a crash. It's not going down rapidly. It kind of made this like real steady landing to this about 20% absorption rate. So let's look at our single family homes next. Available homes in the under $1 million segment. Again, this segment is the one that's going to be hardest hit by interest rates because these are the ones that are FHA. These are the ones that are your standard conforming loans. So we have 43 in the under $1 million segment. New homes were at 7, which is up by 4. Back on markets, not very many. Price increases, not very many. Price reductions, not very many. Pendings were at 15, which is actually up by 10. So we had a little bit of a bump there. Closed listings, we only had 1. So that's actually down by quite a bit. Absorption rate, we're still at 31%. So most people would still consider this a seller's market. Days on market, we're at 36 days. It's actually kind of going up. So even though we're still kind of in that seller's market, that is going up, and that's decreasing absorption rate. However, I will say that this still in this new list price to sales price, we're still at 100%. So what that tells you is that for a newly listed home, they are still going for about list price. In the $1 to $2 million segment, we're at 220 homes on the market, which is pretty much the same as last week. New homes, we had 30, which is down by 4, not too much of a change. Back on market, not very many. Price increases, we're at 4, not very many. Price reductions, 14. So this is where, again, like this number is actually kind of big, even though it's down by 1 from last week. This number is kind of big. This is like 8% of homes on the market had a price reduction. So that's kind of a big number, given the number of homes in this price range. Closed listings were at 27, which is up by 8. That's kind of a big number. Absorption rate, we're still at 38%. And this is why we're still kind of in this seller's market, because if 100 homes hit the market and 38 of them are gone within a month, that's what this is showing. Average day or median days on market is 24 days. So we're still under a month in this $1 to $2 million segment, and new listing price to sales price is at 112%. Again, this segment are the people doing jumbo loans, which is more private money. These are also homes that are selling to people who just have more money and are less interest rate sensitive than in the under $1 million segment. And that's why for these newly listed homes, the ones that sell within the first month, they're going at 112%. So that's 12% above list. Now let's look at the luxury home segment. Between the $2 to $3 million range, we got availability at 73, which is down by 3, not that big of a movement. New homes were at 7, which is the same as last week. Back on market, none. Price increases, none. Price reductions, 11. Again, this is actually kind of big with only 73 homes available, with only 73 homes available and 11 of them had a price decrease. That's like 15% of the homes had a price decrease in the past week. So that's a pretty big number. Pending listings were at 9, which is up by 4. So that's a pretty big increase. Closed listings were at 7, which is about the same. Absorption rate, though, we're still seeing, when you look at this, we're still seeing an absorption rate of 56%. That is huge. That means if there's 100 homes that list, 56 of them are gone within a month. And also, if they're gone within a month, that means that they closed within a month. That means that they were pending within a week and they are closed within a month because they're doing like 14, 21 day close. That is how quickly these homes are selling. Within a month, they are listed and gone. Days on market, we're still at 28 days for median. So that's going up just a little bit, but not by much. But this is what I mean. New homes are still selling at 123% of list price. That means if a home hit the market at $2 million, it would, on average, it's selling for 23% above list price. That is still huge, and that's even 8% above last week. So you're really seeing a lot of these homes selling fast and still above list price. In the over $3 million category, things are a little bit different. Available homes, 110, about the same as last week. New homes, 11, about the same as last week. Price reductions were at 8, which is up a little bit. Pendings are at 7, closed are at 7, so no change in either of those categories. Look at absorption rate though, still. 44 homes are sold within a month. That's still a pretty big number. Days on market median is 36 days. So we're just over a month. And again, this new listing price to sales price, it means for a newly listed homes, they're still selling at about 105% of list price. So let's look at these buyer indicators. And this is kind of what I was talking about before. We have had this resurgence in price reductions. A lot of sellers are getting a little bit nervous that their home is going to be sitting on the market for a long time. Also, a lot of sellers, when they decide to sell their home, it was months before they actually sold it. So they kind of had an idea in their head of what their house, they thought it was going to be, they thought they were going to get for it 3 or 4 months ago. So by the time they actually get it on the market and the market's kind of correcting itself a little bit, they're finding that they're just not getting that same price for it. So hence why we're seeing a lot of these price reductions just to get their homes sold. Now in the back on markets, we're not seeing very many, and that's because people are now kind of adjusted to these new higher interest rates. So we're not seeing the spike that we saw a few weeks ago, and we're kind of on the descent there. So that is what's going on in the housing market today. We are seeing a lot of movement still in this $1 to $3 million category. It is still very hot. We're still seeing most of the homes are selling within a month for a well over list price, and in that single family home in the single family home segment, $1 to $3 million. Condos, both segments, both the under 1 million, the over 1 million, those are the ones that right now, if you're looking for a starter home, if you're looking to just get into the market, and you only have $1 million loan, or you just really want something just to get started in the housing market, right now, that is a good, safe play because the housing prices aren't going down. So you buy the house, you close your eyes, in 2 or 3 years, you're going to be paying off that loan, and it's probably going to be worth more too as more and more people move back into the city and rents go up and up, driving the sale price up, and especially as interest rates go back down. Because right now, what's really pushing these prices in the under $1 million segment down is interest rates. So if you think about it, at 7% interest, you're seeing a huge downward push on that. And so in a couple of years, when interest rates go back down to 4% or even 3%, the people who were looking at $1 million house are now going to be willing to spend $1.5 million for the same house. So if you're looking to just get into the market, I would say right now condos are a very safe bet. Sit on it for 2 or 3 years, close your eyes, see what happens. So that is what I got for you this week in San Francisco real estate. Again, if you enjoyed this, if you learned something about it, hit the subscribe button below and hit the notify me button so you'll be the first to know when new videos come out. And if you're planning on moving to San Francisco in 9 days or 90 days, then drop me a line. I would love to show you around town and make your move to San Francisco as smooth as possible.